You said that about people getting their rounds in. Are you talking about the promoters happy that the fighters got their rounds in, or the matchmakers?
How does a matchmaker get paid?
You tell me.
A promoter says, I want to fight. I went to 10 bouts this day. I've rented out the Staples Center. I want quality bouts. I want fights that are whatever. And matchmakers try to find, of the guys that they know, competitive fights. But sometimes people fall out of a fight and they had it, and they find replacements that don't even, that took it on 2 days notice. Sometimes they can't make all these qualities, like, maybe on paper the fight looks good, but if those fights get approved, that matchmaker gets paid. And if those fights get approved, the promoter now has a legitimate card. Like in California, a promoter has to put on a minimum of 26 rounds of boxing for him to collect money from the public.
Interesting. For each event.
He's looking for minimum of 26 rounds of scheduled boxing.
Scheduled boxing. Okay.
So 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 rounders that can equal up 26 rounds.
Yeah.
I've done up to like 120 rounds scheduled in one night, 12, 15 bouts, Well, especially at the end of the year when fighters are on a contract that they were going to fight 3 times in 1 year, and something happened. The promoter, their managers are trying to get them a fight. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the November and December are packed with a lot of fights because they're all trying to get their amount of fights in by contract. And think about it. Sometimes it's hard to find 147, 160 pound fighter. You reach and you're going, and if the fight looks good on paper and the executive officer says, on paper, I can't fight. Yeah. He's fought this guy. He's got a record that's 12-17. He's not bad. He's been in there with so. But he's going to get his fucking ass kicked. You can't disapprove it on paper. And at the end of the year, especially when they're trying to get these fights on, made that maybe in different times or different whatever, they might not have gotten made. They might not have gotten made. This is the boxing industry. Yeah. It's like making a pitcher pitch on less than 3 days of rest. It's like, there's a million scenarios you can give in every sport. Shooting a guy up with cortisone and making him go out there and in football or something. Look at what's going on with the football players. Their fingers are like this when they retire. I mean, sport professionals are brutal, but combative sports, it don't get more brutal than that. Because look, in football and in hockey, 2 real good contact sports,
yeah,
their job is to score points. In boxing, your job is to beat the shit out of the other guy. Your job is to hit the guy.
Right.
So it's just fucking different, Ray. Excuse my language.
No. You're right. And then the promoters are just kind of like creating this event where it's sort of like a bloodbath for fans.
Well, promoters get a bad rap. A lot of times they get a bad rap. They're businessmen. They love, most of them who have been in this for a long time, love the industry. And they're great promoters and they put on great fights. Some not so much. Some are there just to make a payday for themselves. But when something happens, the public is always pointing fingers at somebody, and that's what happens. They don't understand the difficulties of putting a good card together. They don't understand the difficulties of matchmaking. It's tough. And at best, and look, we got the other side of it too. You put 2 together, the A side and the B side, or the other fighter and the opponent. Mm-hmm. Nobody told that opponent he's supposed to lose, and he wins. He kicks the guy's ass. We see that all the time too. It's a very hard sport to regulate. It's a very hard. They're all of them. They're hard to regulate. They're hard to officiate. They're hard to promote. And the doctors have challenges of their own, and people just criticize. But everybody who's putting these fights together, who's actually involved with, the actual fight itself, the inspectors, the timekeepers, the judges, the referee, the commission, and so on and so forth, it's very challenging.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna take a negative. Somebody's gonna take negative approach to it, no matter what you do. And the people who think you did great, they go, "Hey, great job," and you don't hear from them ever again. It's only the negative people you constantly hear from
Hmm.
because they want to get likes or attention to themselves on the internet for sponsorships or whatever. And it's the world is today, you know. Look at the newspapers, controversy sells. So that's the way the world.
Do you think the state of boxing is in a good place right now?
Yeah, I think it's in a great place. I think the only one of the great things about social media these days is I get to follow fighters from all over the world now that I couldn't follow before. Look, when I started, I've told the story 1,000 times. If I didn't see the fight on TV or listen to it on the radio, the only way I knew who won, hopefully the next day in the LA Times or the Valley News, the sports writer put in a little blurb. Fights last night at the Reseda Country Club or the fights last night at the Forum, so and so beats. If I didn't get to see that, I didn't know who won till Ring Magazine came out. About it.
Right.
Now the fights are on the internet before I got out of the ring. The results are on the internet before I got out down the last step.
Yeah. That's a big
Totally
thing.
different world. The beauty of it for me was I get to see find tape on 99% of the fighters that I had to do. I could always find tape on them. So it helped me prepare better for when I was going to do their fight. If they were bringing in a kid from Argentina or Mexico or, anywhere around the world, Germany, Russia, Ukraine, there's some video on them, and I got to see what the tendencies were, and I got to see what he was like. BoxRec has they didn't have this before. BoxRec has their record, what weights they fought at, did they ever win at the weight they're at? Are they coming up in weight to fight this guy? When was the last time they fought? All these things go into my computer to help me make my decisions when I'm going to stop a fight.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that before. It's so much better now in that respect, but you got to do the work.
Yeah.
Referees, you got to do the work, refs, you know?
Yeah. Man, you just reminded me of something. Andre Ward, one of Andre Ward's last fights, I think it was in Oakland, he fought a guy named Alexander Brand. The guy was from like Argentina. He was like undefeated, 29-0. I never heard of him. I read about boxing every single day. And then he never had another fight after that. My question is like, how the hell did they find that guy, number one? And then number two, like, what happened to him? Like, how is it that he just fights that fight and then gets on TV and he's gone? Like, never hear about him again.
It's hard. Listen, you're a super middleweight fighter or a middleweight fighter. I don't know what Andre was fighting. Super middle or middle.
Light heavy.
Okay.
He was moving up. Light heavyweight.
He's undefeated, Olympic medalist. He's got the ring generalship, the ring IQ, better than I think I did 5 Andre's fights or 4 Andre's fights. I think I did the Brand fight. Did I?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
You want me to check?
I gotta look it up now. You got me
look it up.
wondering. But how do they find him? That's what the promoter and that's what the matchmaker. That's what they do. You know?
Yeah,
That's
but
what
like,
they do.
but it's like how, man? Like, it's unbelievable. It's crazy to me. Like,
No, that's not.
I can't find the referee in that fight.
I got it. I'll have it. 2 seconds. I looked up Alexander Brand. I'll look up Andre Ward and I'll get it from Andre Ward. Okay. So you're looking for Alexander Brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. Sakio Bika, Miguel.
It's old school, man. Only boxing people would know that one, huh?
No. Alexander Brand. Got it. Oh, guess who was the ref?
Who?
To
You?
me.
No way. Nice.
I was the ref. And that was his last fight. He was 25-2. He lost to Jack before that.
Okay.
2016, he lost to the bad dude Jack in 12. So he went, a bunch of years without a loss, and then he went 4 years without a loss, and he ended up fighting Andre. So let me just tell you something. There's boxing all over the world, right?
Right.
All over the United States. Guy's a champion in Italy or Europe. Guy's a champion in Asia. Does that mean he shouldn't get a fight against a champion in the United States?
No, but I mean, I should know who he is, right?
Well, yeah, but you're looking at it on today's standards. That was 10 years ago. What's happened to technology in 10 years?
Okay.
I could find this guy now that in 2016 I couldn't have found.
Okay, but I mean, I didn't know who he was 10 years ago either. You know what I mean? Like,
Because he didn't that's what I'm trying to say to you, Ray. I can follow guys all over the world now that I couldn't have in the past
okay,
because of streaming and technology. That's the good thing about it. You just proved my point. Where in 2016, I probably couldn't even, when I did that fight, I don't even know if I don't remember if I found, I'm sure I did,
uh,
because of the guys he fought, some tape on him, not very many, because
yeah, bad dude, Jack.
he fought Battle Jack and he fought, who else? Let me look. I don't know. Maybe that's the only fight I found. But now it would be easy to find those videos.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
What you got for me, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't have much more. I think I'm good.
I wore you out.
No. It's pretty educational. It's pretty, man. I appreciate, you know, you taking the time and, talking me through, the politics and, you know, the politics of your job, the politics of the business.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah. Like, was it, I guess another question I do have is like, how did you even navigate through all that to become quote unquote?
Well, experience plays a great part.
Mhm.
And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I've made mistakes the way, but the real beauty of it is I've always had a few people around me that I could run this by them, talk about it with them, and learn from. Back in the day, it was Marty Denkin, Lou Filippo, Pat Russell, guys like that. In the more modern day, I became friends with, Ray. I was friends with Ray Corona. Now I'm excellent friends with Tom Taylor. We talk about shit. Our phone, our wives call what we have, our friendship, they call it a bromance.
Huh.
Because, hey, did you see, we're calling each other, hey, did you see that? Hey, did you hear that fight's being made? Yeah, because it's exciting. Because either one of us, more him right now than me, either one of us could be reffing those fights. I mean, or judging them. So I'm on the phone with him a lot. Russell Mora, oh my God, another great friend of mine. I've spoken to so many fantastic, Kenny Bayless, and so many fantastic referees that we've traded knowledge and stuff like that. So it goes a long way.
So, I mean, they got me thinking on a Monday after a big fight. I mean, let's just call it Wilder Fury. What happens? Like, do you talk to your team about your performance? Do you kind of like just move on with your day?
It's funny, right? It's funny you say that. So after every fight like that, we go in the back room and the bosses talk to us. The chairman of the commission, if he's there, the executive officer, or the chief inspector, or all three. So like after that fight, and after all big fights, all the guys you mentioned, Andre Ward, Triple G, all that stuff.
Right.
Lomachenko, I mean, I did a bunch of his fights too. We go in the back, and he goes, and the executive officer in the room, judges, you guys did a great job tonight, but he'll say, but so and so, I want you to look at these 2 rounds, and again on TV, call me up and tell me if you think you still stick with your decision on those rounds, or he'll say, you guys did a lousy job tonight, or whatever. And he goes around with the referees, and he would call us out. He calls us out right in front of everybody. I've gotten called out multiple times throughout my career. I've been sat down because they didn't agree with things I've done. It happens to everybody. Sometimes you're in a penalty box and you're getting work for a couple, 3 months.
This happens the day of the fight?
Right after the fight, we go into this locker room and we sit, we get paid, and the chief and whoever's there of those 3 guys I just gave you will go over the fights with all of us together sitting in a room.
Wow.
Now, when that's over, they want to bring it up in private. You'll get a call on the Sunday morning, and if not Sunday, for sure on Monday. And you'll be talking to the guy, and he'll tell you, you did this, that was great, but I didn't like this. And you learn from the experience of your bosses as well. What they're looking for.
So they're watching you while you're watching the fight.
That's their job. We're their employees.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've even been out because the promoter didn't like something I did. So he said it to the executive officer, and the executive officer came and questioned me. And I gave him my reasoning, and he said, well, the promoter doesn't like that. I said, I'll never do that again with that promoter.
Wow.
You got to do what they want. They're bringing you in. As long as I'm not breaking the rules or getting anybody hurt, I've got to do, what those guys want on certain things.
Like what? Like what do you like?
I took a point. I took a fight was over, which I'm allowed to do.
Okay.
Didn't affect the fight. I knew it wasn't going to affect the fight. But this guy, who was a star where he lived in his town, his territory, it wasn't the mainland United States. So like up and coming guy, and in his hometown, he got away with murder. He was a dirty bastard of a fighter, if you know what I mean. And the referees were probably afraid to take points. So now he's up in the championship level and he's fighting here. And I got, for me personally, I not only think about me, it's not right what he did, but I think about if I let this go, the next ref's gonna get stuck with this shit too. And the promoter let my boss know that he doesn't think that's my job. I said, I won't do that again when I'm working for him.
Dang.
I was trying to send him a message. He didn't lose the fight close to the point, but he hit after the bell in the last round. I took a point. No, it wasn't going to affect the fight, but he had to know that what he did was wrong, so he doesn't do it again. Somebody's got to teach these kids. But they told me it's not my job. I stopped doing it.
Got it. Well, Jack, man, a lot, dude. I know we could talk for hours, and hopefully we'll do this again soon.
What's that?
I said, I hope we could do this again soon.
Whatever you want. You got the questions, I got the answers.
I know you do, man. You're the man with all the answers. I appreciate
I'll
it.
give you an answer whether you like it or not. I'll give you the answer.
Yeah, you're the middleman with
look,
it.
Ray, the way I feel is this: people disagree with me all the time, and my thing is, my mindset has worked out pretty good for me. Worked out okay. How's it working out for you, pal? I don't mean you, but I'll say to that guy, how's it working out for you?
Right.
I invested in myself. I put my own time into becoming better, and I backed it up with putting my money in. I traveled all over the place. What you don't know is I went to LA boxing when I was a ref. I was already a ref, and I went to LA boxing once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, to get sparring in with fighters with a mentor there and without a mentor there, so I can get my movement down so clean I never even had to think about movement, and then handle situations, because when the mentors are there, they would tell the fighters sometimes, hit him low, knock him down, would you mind doing this? Knock him down and hit him when he's on the ground. And they would help us with scenarios like that. They loved it. The fighters in the corners loved it because now they knew what was acceptable or not. And I would break them when they were holding, I would, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I could have been home with my family.
Yeah.
But I spent the time to do it because I love this craft. You have to work the craft. And there's guys that just aren't willing to do it. And this is a made up, 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and people don't want to put in the work. Listen, Ray, I get a kick out of this. Then I'll let you go if you want.
No, go ahead, man.
I knew a fighter was going to get his ass kicked sometimes by who was in his corner. I would see a guy wearing $150 two-piece sweat outfit, like Nike, beautiful pants and a zip top with the pockets.
Right.
He got his hair greased back straight, and he's wearing dark glasses inside the arena all day long. He's trying to give an aura about himself. He's trying to look like a movie star, right? And he's in this guy's corner, and he's full of, he's full of shit. He's some guy looking for 15 minutes of fame. I've had guys when I've walked into the corner multiple times where, let's just say, a top name fighter, a middle name fighter, or even a brand new guy. He's doing something like he's straying a little bit low with his punches, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've warned him a couple of times, but I walk in the corner between rounds. I'm giving a very, very, just a little caution. It's you, which you will find out now when your kid gets to be 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
You're giving your kid a little correction, a little caution. You're not beating him up. You're not punishing him. I walk over and I'll tap, I don't want to interrupt there 1 minute, but you got to make these corrections. I'll say, hey, Joe, keep him up a little bit. It's like 3 times I had to tell you.
Yeah.
Because I want the corner to know, I've told him 3 times, keep him up, right?
Mhm.
And that guy I'm describing to you, the hair slick, is screaming at me, no, the other guy's hit low, it's not him, he hit him. Because he wants to bring attention to himself. Most of the time, I told him to STFU. Sometimes I said to the inspector, remove him from the corner, get him out right now. And they've removed him from the corner. We had one guy, I'm proud to say, and Ray, I want you to understand this. This was a big fight. It wasn't up here big. It was like right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Main event on a pretty good show. And I went in to give a little caution, and the guy's screaming at me, screaming on the top of his lungs.
Yeah.
The commission witnessed it, and he did it a second time. They kicked him out of California. He was not welcome to come back to California ever.
Wow.
He had to write a letter and appear before the commission with an apology. Why? Okay? The promoter's got $1 million production, and I'm going to let a guy who maybe he's the friend of the boxer or who just shows up screw up the way I'm trying to manage a fight and allow this thing to go to a natural conclusion and let the guys put on a good show by yelling at him, yelling and screaming. He's yelling and screaming at me. Now the fighter thinks I'm against him. Now the fighter's fighting his opponent, and he's fighting me.
Right.
You can't have that stuff. So California Athletic Commission is awesome. I'll tell you another thing about the Athletic Commission here. They're awesome. Andy Foster, Mark Relier, love them. Sean Wells, Jesus Villarreal. These guys don't play.
Yeah.
Oh, every one of them. A cameraman's using the boom from the outside. You know that big boom?
Yeah.
On the big long pole.
Right.
They are not allowed to break the plane of the ropes. They can't put that camera in the ring. They hit a referee in the head. They just missed the fighter, and they got really close to me. But the second part of it was so close to me. I'm standing watching the two fighters fight. It distracted from watching the fight because I thought I was going to get hit or they were going to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They told this guy, hey, the inspector's, I said, hey, this guy's breaking the plane of the thing. He's almost hit me. And he hit the girl before that was reffing. They went over to him. They go, hey, you can't break the plane of the ropes with. He goes, I don't work for you. I work for this thing. They go, you don't work for us? Gone. He's gone. He never came back here ever again.
Wow.
5 years later, I don't know if he paid a fine, but it took, I don't want to even say 5 years. It was years later. He had to apologize in writing and all that stuff, and he don't do it anymore. But these guys, they don't realize what we're trying to protect: the integrity of the promotion and the integrity of the sport, and protect the fighters. And all these outside interruptions with these guys trying to bring attention to themselves, it's not good. And that's why I tell you what, man, you give me a Freddie Roach or Marvin Samudio or anybody from that gym, you give me a Robert Garcia, Rob Sally, a lot of guys, okay?
Right.
They're not screaming at their fighters in between rounds. They're cool, they're calm, they're collected. Okay, look, that was a bad round. Double up on the jab, make sure you're keeping the right hand up because he's throwing that left. They give him 2 little things, 3 things, maybe the most in the corner, and the guys go back out. The shitty cornermen are screaming at their fighters from the second around the 1 minute rest period starts till the end. They're talking, giving them instructions. The guy's getting his head punched. He can only take in a few things at a time. He's trying to catch his breath and take a drink. So you could tell right away who are the good trainings and who aren't, and who you have problems with and who you're not. And it's a huge difference between the upper echelon and the lower.
Right.
It's great. On the upper echelon, the skill level of the fighters is unbelievable sometimes. You know, like Terrence Crawford. When I did both of Terrence Crawford's fights.
Which one?
I did Madrimov, but before that I did, I believe it was an African kid. It was in Nebraska. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. You have me here 2 hours. I can't remember names anymore. But anyway, make a long story short, there's no fouling. These guys don't foul each other. They're unbelievable technicians. They're just wonderful fighters, and you can get caught up on the beauty of it. You know, but unfortunately, sometimes you got to do something. Things happen, but it's wonderful when you got two highly skilled fighters that come to win fairly. It's poetic. It's an
Yeah,
art, man.
of course, man. It's the science, man. You know,
The sweet science.
yeah, and you're a big part of it, man. It's you made
Try
your
to stay
life.
away. Try to let them settle it and enjoy. What you're doing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. You don't have to like the old days, right?
No, now I am.
Yeah, you're a judge now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was always a judge. I judged in between stuff, but now that's all I'm doing.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Cool,
hope you
Jack.
enjoyed yourself.
I appreciate it, man. This was awesome.
Anytime.
Yeah, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.